shame is one of the biggest things that kill people nowadays in their minds, kill them from moving forward. I'm ashamed of myself. Don't ever be ashamed of anything you've done in your life. Face it, fix it, make it better. We are humans. But then again, if you always think that we're humans, you will always just be a human and always make the same fucking mistakes. You must take this knowledge that you learn from all this shit is knowledge. So I'm just trying to give people that strength to go in the archives of your life. Because while you're probably fucked up, it's probably something happened to you in your life. Go through the archives, dig it up, study it, and then use it for yourself. That's the main purpose for me right now.
Have you considered what you would be like as a father?
Yeah, I actually have a daughter right now. Yeah.
No way. I didn't know.
Yeah. I have a daughter right now. But that being said, I'm an open and honest person. When you meet people at a young age, so I had a kid at a young age when I was in the worst possible place in my life. So when you're in a bad place, you're not going to meet a Kish. You're going to meet a person that's very similar to who you are at that time. And then you bring a child into this world. And as you start to move up in this world and get better, and you realize I need to get better, you try to pull that person along with you. A lot of times they don't want to come where you're going. And it creates a bad environment. So that's where that is right now. But my daughter's 21 years old though.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yep.
I think that it would be all of the learnings and stuff that you've been through as a father, as a son, as a grandson. It makes sense to me that that would have been something that could have been passed down.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy how black people supported R. Kelly with all that evidence, and they had some of the other side of the story, and they still support him because he make them feel good. They probably got 2 or 3 kids or 2 or 3 niggas on child support because of R. Kelly songs. But when it comes to anybody else, they not trying to get him the other benefit of the doubt. And that's like, if someone doesn't understand why being in the military can make you not be a present father, then there's not really a conversation you can have with them. And that's like one of the things that we learn, like I've learned about talking to civilians, is that they could only see it from like a civilian mindset. They don't understand the toll 12, 16, 18-month deployment takes on you, how much time that is, how little downtime you have in between deployments. And then for when you're a high speed guy like what he's doing, he can get a phone call and have to be in another country in 24 hours. So it's super weird, like reading the comments or like listening to these people make these opinions about a guy, like when they have no idea like what his why was. Because he's got the most noble why in the world. So you say, would this be a character flaw? No, it's not a character flaw, because he's in the military serving his country. And then he's in the 0.1% of the military doing a thing that benefits 100% of the world. So it's super weird to have this conversation with people who have no idea about what he is outside of a motivational speaker.
Well, let me ask you this. So do you think the military are people? Yeah. Do you think the military would look at it that way as well?
Yeah, because they tell us to. You know how much counseling they have to give us about, while we're gone, and we have to go through trainings to come back and adjust and reacclimate to our family. They have to teach us and train us to do that. We've been gone for so long. These kids, for example, my oldest son, I came back and he was 7 months old. I left when his mom was 2 months pregnant. So that's how long I was gone. And they made me go through all these trainings, to readjust and to ingratiate myself with my family, because I wasn't there. Maybe, he's a baby, he couldn't hear about it. 5, 6, 7 deployments later, every time it's the same thing. So if you look at all that time that I'm deployed, those are years that's damn near half my son's life that I wasn't around because I was, or by then my other sons, that I wasn't around because I was in the military. And it's something that they have to understand, that when you have a child by somebody in the military, the one thing you can't expect him to be is present, especially when he's doing high speed shit. If you get these guys who come in the military, just do some bullshit like HR, they're cooks, mechanics and shit, they don't go nowhere. They got like a 9 to 5 job. They go to work at 7, come home at 5. We're not talking about them. That's not what David Goggins was. But for the people who are forward deployed, like the tip of the spear, you should expect to never see them. That's the sacrifice that the family makes by, you know what I'm saying, having that military member be the head of their family.
It's funny we got this situation because it's the situation I was talking about when I was talking to Real Dope Daddy. You have situations like this. Now his situation is a little bit different because he is in the military, and I don't know where his kids and I guess was it his ex-wife or just his baby mama? I don't know what the situation was. But it just shows, the different levels of you not being in a child's life and how hard it's going to be to try to rekindle that relationship. It's going to be hell going through that for him to try to fix that relationship with his daughter, especially when she's been poisoned by the mother. The mother ain't helping. The mother's not going to help her at all. She's going to be a thorn in the side. She's going to continue to put out this bullshit. She's going to probably do some goddamn media shows and some podcasts, and they're going to ask a lot of questions about the situation. The daughter's probably going to do a little media forensics as well, to try to downplay the man and what he was and what he is. Now, was he there for financially? That's a big key. You call a man deadbeat. Well, okay, you call him deadbeat just because he wasn't there, or you call him a deadbeat because he not only wasn't there because of his job, but was he not there financially? See, that's going to make a big difference. He might get a little leeway as long as you was taken care of financially, but you was away and you couldn't see it like on a normal basis like any other common Joe, working his 9 to 5. Right. You probably get a little a slight bit of a little bit of grace. But if he's doing this and not taking out financially, yeah, dog, it's not good. That's not good at all. So if that's how he's moving, I ain't got no respect for the dude. I'm not a fan of deadbeat motherfuckers. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I can't stand you motherfuckers. I can't stand you because I don't think you shit. Because more than likely you didn't have a goddamn daddy, but you're gonna continue the goddamn cycle, and that's not good. Not for no child shouldn't have to go through that shit, especially when you was a victim of the same shit, more than likely, and your daddy was a victim of the shit. But you gonna keep the fucking thing going? Nah, that don't make sense. So I like I said, I don't know a lot of the details. I'm just going based off this video, the shallow shit I know. So I'm not gonna go too far deep into the man because like I said, I don't have all the details like maybe some of the other cats do. But what I do know, these are the type of situations you got. So real though, when you sit there and may say, oh shit, she mad at me, I'm leaving her. Well, what about your kid? Fuck him. I catch up with her when they're 18. Dog, when she 18, it may not be no coming back. He may not ever get back good with his daughter. It may not ever be rekindled. You got people like that. And then this woman is going to put that poison in his daughter's ear for years on years on years. It might not be no comeback. I'm going to leave it there.
Do you know how hard it is to be a deadbeat in the military? I would tell you that it's next to impossible because all they have to do is contact any recruiting office, say, hey, I have a child by this person, and it starts a process. Those people will get you a paycheck in 6. Will get you. There's a standard for the military that if you have a spouse, it's 1/6 of your, 1/4 of your base pay that goes to her, plus including your BH and other incentives. If you have a child and a spouse, that's half of your base pay that's going to go to them in lieu of a court order. So what that does is that makes a lot of military guys go put themselves on child support because 1/2 of your base pay plus your BH can be $2,400. And you paying that for one child and a spouse that you're probably not with, or or you saying that you're estranged from. The problem though is that when bro got out the military, he said he's paid $740,000 in child support since he got out. How in the fuck is that a deadbeat? Ain't nobody that agreed with him being called the deadbeat received $74,000 in child support from the niggas they have kids by. And if they had, they complain about the $200 they not getting, but this nigga's paid $740,000. That's $260 less than an M since he's been out the military. And he a deadbeat? Like, y'all got to be fucking for real.
So if they're not present but paying, then that doesn't. I mean, they're not a deadbeat.
Oh, no.
So
If
you
they're not,
can
if
still
they're
be a
not,
deadbeat.
they're not present and doing the shit that he was doing. Fuck no, he's not a deadbeat. Now, if he was just paying out here, living his life, taking care of other kids, doing all that celebrity shit, then you got an argument for that's argument. Now he's indefensible to me. But the fact that, what I'm saying, again, he had to fight to be a father, because y'all listen, see what the mom was saying, and she tried to come out and do some clout chasing shit too. A man can't win against that. Like, there's nothing that he can do. That woman is gonna be in that girl's ear every day. Your daddy ain't shit. Your daddy ain't shit. I got this 3,500 this month, but your daddy ain't shit. I'm not gonna give you this 3,500 because I need it to live, but your daddy ain't shit. Every day while he's not there, that's what he can't compete with that. It's impossible. There's a lot of fathers that are in that position having to fight and then to be a parent to their child. And now that she's 21, again, it may be too late. And that's, again, the hard thing that he had to do and accept when he chose to approach it and take the approach that he took. Like, it's not easy walking away from a child. It's not easy going on deployment knowing you got young kids at home. It's not easy, but he did the hard thing over and over and over again.
But Willie, that's what I was saying though. When we had that conversation, I was pressing that issue when I was asking Real though. I said, dog, you willing to walk away from your son because you feel like that woman emasculated you and you ready to turn your back on your son because she did it and you don't want to have nothing to do with this child now. Are you going to say you're going to wait till you turn 18 before you try to rekindle a relationship? That's not going to work.
I don't think it was
an example. No, that's Real dope.
Yeah,
You here? Tell her what you said.
I don't think that his thing is about he emasculated her. Is that he's not finna fight for his child? Like, no man should have to fight for his parent.
Real dope right here. Talk, man. Don't act like you can't talk. Come on, brother. Tell her what you said, what you told us.
So do you want to know what I said, or do you want to just say what I said like you always do?
I'm listening, brother.
You
I ain't
saying
saying
whatever
word.
you want. I'll just be like, you talk. But
you still my dog, though.
What I was saying was, in a situation, because a question was asked, like, something, would you give up your manhood or to be in your kid's life? And I was like, fuck no. Right? That's just how I feel. Like, that's how I feel. I'm not. That's not negotiable. Like, my masculinity is not negotiable. If a woman is trying to castrate you to that degree and she's making you fight tooth and nail, and it's like you've tried all these things, yo, I'm not the reason that I'm not in my kid's life. Like, it's not, my kid not going to be 18 and I'm be like, you know what? I'm not in your life because no, somebody was trying tooth and nail to keep me out of your life. She's a fucking weirdo, right? Here's the receipts. I did what I had to do. Your mom didn't let me in your life. If you want to still be mad at me, oh damn, like, you're a fucking weirdo too. And it's my fault because I chose your mom to have a baby with, I need to talk to Jesus, but I'm gonna move forward. Like, in that case. And let's talk. I want to talk about the David Goggins situation. I really, like, be honest. I don't give a fuck if he's not in his kid's life. I don't. Like, people think that people are supposed to be. I don't know if they think he's a good person or something like that. The nigga's out of his fucking mind to do the shit that he does. He is crazy. He's out of his mind, and that's who he is. I've never expected him to be like this amazing person, but I understand that he can tell you what he's done to do the craziest things in the world and how you can achieve that if you want to, or just take that and apply it to something smaller in your life. I never expected him to be this great person. Like, he's a 1% of a 1%er, not only when it comes to the military, but when it comes into running marathons and the world record for pull-ups and all. Like, that's what he's great at. He might be a horrible father. I don't care. That's not why I appreciate him. That's not what I can take from him. Like, what he does, what he offers the world is not his fathership skills. So many professional athletes and 1%ers are bad dads. We just gotta understand that when you putting so much into certain other things, a lot of people gonna be bad dads or not the best father. Like I said, when it comes to him, he's so good at these other things. Like, You know, I just don't give a fuck. And I'm gonna take, and I'm right for right now. I'm gonna take his word for it too. And take him at his word when he say like, "Yo, I was trash at this point in my life. I met a woman who was trash, and she stayed trash." Like, so.
Hey, real quick, JR. As hard as y'all think all this marathon shit, running with 2 broke feet, 3 ACL tears and shit, as hard as y'all think that shit is, his job as a Navy SEAL was a million times harder, and his life was on the line every day. Like, y'all fascinated by the shit that y'all can see because y'all can't do it. Like, and I mean, it's cool because it seems fantastic. Like, nigga ran 400 miles straight, like on some forwards. That's cool. If y'all saw what that man was doing in the military, none of y'all would say nothing. And then more importantly, would none of y'all say this shit to his face? Nobody. Like, that man was once upon a time one of the most lethal niggas breathing, and was going out here and laying shit down. Like, I'm flabbergasted at how, like, so people will talk about the fatherhood shit. Like, at the end of the day, he chose to serve his country, and that took precedence over him being a father. That is the choice that a lot of people in the military are forced to make. I don't see anything to fault him for. And then again, bro, he paid $740,000 in child support for this girl. What the fuck are we talking about for real?
All right, I'm gonna get to some more clips, but Roderick, you got cut out earlier. You mentioned that.
Yeah, my phone got hot.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but nah, I was just saying, everybody in them clips that was talking about them just sound like they got daddy issues to me. Every last one of them. Like, as a grown man, I don't care what he's going through in his relationship, especially when he got divorced like so long ago. And to listen to the daughter, like I don't care. That's just me. But for the most part, most of those people is going viral the way it is because those people experiencing something like that in their lifestyle. So I just sit back and just, take it all in and look from afar. Like I said, I ain't got too much to say about him. Like I said, as far as him being a deadbeat, who am I to tell him he's a deadbeat? He does more than most niggas do. My bad. Can I say that? Should I?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. But yeah, like, and for him to have to come on the internet and have to explain himself, like, that's just too many people, like, putting their nose in people's business that they shouldn't be in. And when you do that, that's typically how you can tell somebody got daddy issues. You know what I'm saying? Because your father will tell you to mind your business. Mind the business pays you. So, like I said, I don't see it seemed normal. It's just he just on a higher scale. And typically, when a man is chasing greatness, he's probably not the best spouse or father.